am I talking about? It's a good question. Been to karate, he did fairly well. I call it 65% attitude, like as in good attitude, following directions. 35%, oh, I want to go look at myself in the mirror. I'd rather go punch this bag. And why don't I have a sword? All valid questions, if you ask me. Our Master One Q stack is doing a fade in from nothing, from darkness, to I believe the blue. If we double click on the Q, we see the blue at 100%. It holds it. The number underneath is a hold. Holds it for 2 seconds. You can click on it if you want to change it. When I say hold, I should say wait time. It gets a little confusing. It waits. It waits for 2 seconds at that level, at that color, at whatever it's set. Got a little background music going on for my son. Wonderful. It then is a crossfade. You can see the crossfade. Crossfade between the blue and the green takes place. It takes 1 second for that to happen. And then it's going to wait for 5 seconds. After the 5 seconds, it's going to loop, go back into our 1 second crossfade into blue. That's what should happen. Let's just test it. And now I still have InfiniBar 2, which is our key, on the stage. I'm leaving it on the stage because it's not part of the cue. If that was part of the cue, the stage would win and nothing would happen with the key. Since it's not part of our effect over here, we're leaving it on so you can see me, which I know is lovely for you. So let's hit go, see what happens. All right, it's doing as expected. It is going to blue, crossfading to green. It's gonna hold for 5 seconds. It's gonna crossfade to blue. Doesn't do it super seamlessly either. That loop is not super seamless. I could be doing something wrong. Could be user error. But it is doing a thing. It's doing what I expect, other than the crossfades feel a little staggery. So let's stop that. Oh, so I was gonna try and edit a cue. So let's edit a cue. So we're only using one fixture right now. Let's go into cue number, let's leave cue number 1 alone. Let's go to cue number 2 by double. If you single click it, you can rename, duplicate, delete. Just double click it, clear it, and then double click it. All right, let's go into, it says edit Q2. You can also go back to Q1 here. You can jog your way down. So here I do have access to all my fixtures here. Let's add number 2, which is this guy up here. So let's add number 2 into this cue. And nothing's happening because again, I'm editing a cue, so you can't actually see what's happening here. Trying to think if you, I was trying to think if you were on the stage and you added it, could you see what you were doing? Let's do like 2000 at 85%, sure. So this should now, if I save it, Q2, coming from Q1 to Q2, Q1 should fade out of blue to green in that 1 second. It should also fade this up in 1 second to like a 2000 CCT. And then it should all loop. In theory, assuming I understood what I just did. The key light stays the same. I'm gonna click go, fingers crossed. Okay, so it's fading from blue. Now it is fading from where we were, which is interesting. It's going back to blue. This is staying tungsten, which I guess makes sense. So I'm not telling, in Q1, I'm not telling this fixture to do anything. I'm not dumping it, Now I wonder, stop this. So now, what I actually want to do is go to Q1 and let's change it from 100% down to like, let's say 23%. Save it.
Hey, Darren from the future here, stopping time with a quick explanation. Because I had so many iPad issues and didn't know it, there was a section of this video that I cut out. Just for brevity and being concise. And when I did that, I adjusted the tungsten fixture, the 2000 CCT, to 100%. And I also added it in to the first cue. But I added it in at 100%. So when I'm talking here about changing it from 100% to 23%, and the fact that it kind of seems like it's already in the first cue, it is, because I recorded something that I ended up not using. Just so it's not super confusing. Hopefully this doesn't make it more confusing. Anyway, back to the past. Bye.
So now this should be going up and down, but staying the same intensity. Let's play it, see what happens. Thumbs up. Goes to 100%. Should go back down to 25%, 23%. does. That changes back to blue. So they are doing what I wanted them to do. That's many successes. Many successes. So this one is our 32 pixel. And you can tell this one is 48 pixel. You can tell this one is 48 pixel because, hold on a sec, yes you can, but let me try a couple things first. If I look at the top right, it says FV, it's fixture view. Yeah, fixture view. I can change it to channel view. In channel view, I can see each of the channels, 15, 16, 17 at the bottom. And that's each of the light engines, whatever you want to call it. Some companies call it light engines, some companies call it cells, call it pixels, whatever you want to call it. So if I turn everything off.
I done.
What? So I think the easiest way to turn up, go back to fixture view. If I turn everything down,
What's that?
and I go back to channel view,
What's
if I turn up just this one cell, of course it's going to be the one on the bottom, isn't it? Nathan, why didn't that work? What's going on? Intensity. Oh, it is. I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. It did turn on. All right, so now I'm just controlling the individual light engine or pixel. I'm not sure if this is even in frame, so that's the first one. I'm gonna go to the other one. I could flip this whole thing around, but I'm just gonna do it the hard way and go all the way to the end of 192 channels. Here we are. Now we are at the end, and we are controlling on each pixel, we're controlling intensity, hue, saturation, CCT.
Yeah.
So let's just turn up this one. So now this one is on. I left the other one on, so if you can see that far, it is on.
Yeah, how about here?
I can control from here the CCT that's underneath the color. I can also control the saturation, hue, which, you know, when you change saturation, doesn't do much of anything. But here, let's put full saturation. Hue, we have control over. And I can control the different ones. So let's go to another one. Here, why don't you take, so we just did that one. Let's turn that one up. Bring that one all the way up. Yeah, so that one, now we left that one the color it was, which is that pink. And you know what we could also do is just make a second, that's on M1, M2, we can go to master. Let's go to a second one. Let's just take InfiniBar 3. Let's record it.
I heard the memory balls.
Let's call it, let's try like memory ball. Are you talking, you're all inside out, aren't you? Memory balls?
Yeah.
Are you forming one? Is this a core memory right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pixel Q. Let's try that. Pixel Q, let's say wait time. 5 seconds, sounds good. 0 fade in time, sure. We'll say okay.
Come on.
So we just created a pixel Q. Well, I called it pixel Q. We created a new
We
Q.
call it.
If we come in here,
We call this bro.
it should have these set. That should be what happens.
You called it.
Huh?
We called it.
I called it?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I should be able to tell this to go, but I gotta clear the stage first. Otherwise, like I said, the stage always wins so far. I clear the stage.
Come on. Silly boy.
That should turn off. It did not. I don't understand why. Where am I?
How about all of it?
Hmm?
How about all of it?
Got all of it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to fixture view.
Hey.
Fixture view. Oh. So I went back to fixture view and it did turn off. I don't understand that. I don't think that doesn't make sense. Go back to channel view. No, it is off. So it did turn off, but it didn't turn off when I would have expected it to. Yeah, I did this. Oh, what? Oh. You know what? Let's do a couple things. We got this on. Let's turn on.
So thirsty.
What would you like, little boy?
I want some juice.
Want some juice? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of juice?
I want some grape.
Grape juice? Okay. Grape juice sounds good. Hold on just 1 second. I don't quite understand what I missed something. Maybe in the edit I'll figure it out. All right, so we're gonna take InfiniBar number 3 down to nothing, so it's off. And change from fixture view to channel view. Okay. We're gonna go down to, I should have just flipped the fixture around, but too late. So now, we're going to the end of the line, which should be here. I'm gonna start bringing up the intensity on a couple of these guys. Just a couple of random spaces to show we're controlling individual pixels. Yeah, let's go a little further. And there. All right, we got a few. So now we're gonna record in this second in M2. This is now a new Q stack. We're gonna record a Q. We'll call it wait time, give it 5 seconds, 0 fade time. We'll call it, let's call it pixel Q1. Pixel, let's call it Pixel 01. 01, done. Okay. And now, if I make a change to this, and let's say that change is, turn that one off, turn that one on, and we'll change the hue to like our pinky red, turn this one up, and we'll make it, maybe not red, how about, like a blue. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's enough of a difference. And so let's record. Now we got the options, create a new queue at the end of the current master. So in this queue stack at the end, it's going to be the new thing it can do. Override the current queue, which I haven't done yet, but I assume that means it replaces it. We'll try that. And then merge the queue. I don't know what merge the queue means. I'm assuming it means if there is fixture options that it will put two together. So if there's a fixture, it won't delete and replace, it'll just put them together. Let's see. I'll call it another wait time, say okay. And let's go in to make sure we did what I think we did. All right, so queue stack M2, first one. Oh, I do have InfiniBar 2 in here. This is something I need to understand because I feel like I have to clear the stage every time, but I mean, do I really want to have to turn everything off? So that's interesting. But I may not need to clear the stage. I may just be able to select the fixtures I want to turn off. All right, getting a little confusing. So there should be two queues here. I actually only left the queue name as Q2 instead of Pixel 2. Oh well. Let's just assume everything went to plan. So let's cancel. We didn't change anything. Let's get out of this. We're gonna InfiniBar number 3. Instead of clearing the stage, I'm just gonna turn off the one fixture. InfiniBar 2. Let's go back to fixture view. I feel like things are changing between channel view and fixture view, and it doesn't make sense to me. I turned off the fixture in the stage, or I got rid of it. I made it go away. Same thing as clearing it. But it seems like it's not necessarily doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, I got it to go away. So let's go ahead and run Q2, see what happens. Okay, we got our 3 dots, 3 pixels. It's gonna hold for 5 seconds and then it changes to the other one. I believe at the end I had it set to loop, so it should go back around again. And there it is. And there it is. Okay, so we have cues doing things. Now, what we also could do, I experimented with, so we have our edit. Now, we still have our original cue. And at the end it loops. Now we could tell it to connect to a master. And now there is another master. Before, I think we showed this once before, there was nothing there. Now there's M2. I can say at the end of this line of these cues, go to the next thing. And say, yeah, let's do that. Now you see it says it's gonna go to M2. Let's try it. And then it's just gonna loop. Now the question is, I think it's gonna loop within its own queue stack. I don't think it's gonna loop all the way back to the beginning. But I could say, you know what, why don't we try that? Connect to master, go back to 1. How about that? Now it should be making a big loop. Let's try it. Stage stays the same, we want our key on. You still want grape juice, you know what, it's all right. Let's just try this once and then we'll get you some grape juice. All right, so it's resetting itself sort of, doing its thing. Going to green, changing intensities.
Your mama's so
This stays alone.
Myself.
And it's doing that. Now it should go back again to the beginning. Which it is. It's making changes. And it's doing. So it's doing what I want it to do. Again, mini victories. So let's go ahead and stop this.
Oh.
Let's get you some grape juice. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this from recording. Stop. That should save itself, hopefully. I'm gonna stop the camera recording. Give it a break while I'm getting you grape juice. Where were we? Okay, let's try something because I haven't tried this yet. So this is an option you have if you have it in pixel mode. You can get into the effects. So usually I always say I'm used to blackout. That's what I'm most used to when wirelessly controlling DMX fixtures. And I'm used to in blackout, I don't usually put a fixture in an effect mode. I'll put it in whatever I want whatever takes up the least amount of channels, it does what I need. It could be, you know, CTT, HSI is a mainstay. I do that all the time. It's flashing even more now. It's irritating. There's no cues running. There's nothing running. I think this is this. I don't think this is the fixtures themselves. Like I said, the firmware is all updated. So in Blackout, you are basically generating custom effects and you're building them with tools and saving them as presets. You can use them on other things. Here, at least on Aputure fixtures, if you put it into pixel mode, like I did with just this one is in pixel mode, you have the option to get into an effect menu. And the effect menu looks a lot like what you find in the fixture. It doesn't look like there's as many. Like I think in the fixture you can find like a lot of like version 2, version 3, like Lightning 2 and stuff like that. You don't have that here. You just have kind of got a shorter list. I don't really understand it. So let's just do cop car. And let's start it. Alright, so it's doing things. I didn't even mess with like intent. Let's turn up the intensity. Color let's do RBW. RBW. Flash, let's do 10. Let's do crazy 10 flash. Alright, so it is doing an effect.
What's going on?
It's an effect, dude.
Effect?
It's an effect. Let's see if I can save this, or let's see if I can put this into a queue. If I record right now,
What's going on?
right, let's say if I put it into the current queue stack, create a new queue at the ends, wait time, let's just say another 5 seconds, sure. Now if I go back into the queue stack, you can see it added a third queue, but it didn't bring the effect with it.
Now, can I do what I do?
Go ahead, it's only going to control this guy. I think. We'll find out.
We're down 99.
Well, it's hard to tell 99 from 100. Why? Go down to like 50 or 0. If you're going to be an assistant, you got to be on it. Come on, let's go. Go, go, go. All right, so that's just turning off our main guy, which is as I expected. Okay, so it's just this is just the Grandmaster is controlling what's on the stage. What's on the stage? I don't know if you can.
I just say it's
You know, it's really hard to understand
surface.
when we're both saying stuff at the same time. I know what you're saying is more valuable than what I'm saying, but just a note. Let's just turn this on. Let's go back into cop car. Let's play the cop car. It's doing cop car things. I don't know why it has a lock on it. What does that mean? Can I unlock it if I long press it? No. But it is locked. So I can't take it off the stage, I guess. Or can I? I can. So the lock doesn't seem to mean anything. I wonder if the lock protects you from being cleared. How about if I lock this? And if I clear? It turned it off, but it kept it. I don't know, is that helpful?
No.
Okay, and the lock means I can't interact with it, but a clear took it down. That's confusing. Turn it back on. Can I deselect? How about if I put something else on? Let's lock InfiniBar2, which is our key. What does clear do? Clear, it does exactly the same thing. It keeps it on the stage, but it sets it to 0. I don't really understand why that's helpful. It probably is. I added a cop car effect. I was able to get the cop car effect to go. But trying to record it into a queue is not working. It just brings the CCT or the HSI effect. It doesn't bring the effect in. Hey, Nathan. Can you play and keep it to like a dull roar? If that makes sense. Alright, so I wasn't able to do that. Oh, and then the other thing is it locks. You can see a lock on the fixture, but the lock doesn't do anything. It keeps it on the stage. But if I lock both of them and I clear the stage, it didn't even... Which is weird, because it cleared InfiniBar 3 off the stage, but the effect is still running. It kept InfiniBar 2 on the stage, but it set it to 0, even though it's locked. So all lock does is keep it on the stage, but it didn't keep it on the stage with the effect, but it kept the effect running. All that makes 0 sense. It's like yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me anyway. This video was not supposed to be an avalanche of questions. This is supposed to be mostly answers with maybe a few questions. So I think I'm gonna pause there as far as trying to figure out effects. I'm sorry. Huh?
That's enough.
It's enough? Is it? Is it though? Am I still recording? I am not recording anymore. I stopped recording the iPad when I got the grape juice. Do I need to do all that again? I don't wanna. Nathan, I don't wanna.
What?
What?